Oh, no,
yeah, we're back. We're back. We're back.
God knows what happened there.
Haven't got
that was
a clue.
The EU. Who was the spy from the EU there? What did you just do? Anyway,
know.
if Andrea's still there,
it was
hello,
Dean.
Andrea.
It was Dean. That was the comment. All right, if everybody's there, right, I don't know what happened there. We just got hit.
Yeah,
So
we're back.
We're back.
That was
Okay.
weird.
So, and yes, we are streaming, but we are. Oh yes, we are back on Rumble as well. There we go, everybody. We're back on. Okay, we're sorry about that. Okay, we're going to move on and carry on.
Well, at least you've got 2 podcasts to watch.
That's right. That's right. Here we go.
There could be more if we keeps that. Oh, well, that's a bit annoying, now, isn't it? There's a few people watching there as well. But anyway,
That's okay. They'll come back.
Well, if Andrea's come on back, or I saw their comment. Hello, Andrea.
Yes, we're back. Okay, let's move on, and we're going to go. And this is pressure on John Sweeney regarding grooming gangs. Here we go.
Instructed a rapid 3-month audit in order to understand how big grooming gangs were in England and Wales, and from that they instructed a national inquiry. Why have you not instructed that? Why do you not want to know how big it is here in Scotland?
Well, that is the work that is underway with Police
you
Scotland.
Haven't inducted.
No, I'm sorry.
There's no rapid audit here.
Forgive me, Peter, and please, I'm very happy to answer your questions, and I'm trying to do so. That work is underway. That is what Police Scotland are doing to make sure that we can establish what is the extent of any issues that have to be considered.
Sorry, have you asked Police Scotland to do a rapid audit?
Peter, please, look.
I'm asking a specific question.
Asking questions. You said you'd answer questions.
I don't have to instruct Police Scotland to do anything about this. That's what they're doing, and that's been made clear to Parliament on multiple occasions before. So that work is underway to make sure that we have a clear understanding, because
he's doing nothing about
without that clear understanding, we cannot take considered decisions.
Yes, welcome back. Sorry about that.
Is required, and that's the work that's underway.
Well, First Minister, we've found evidence.
Like off the EU, and then
there was a list of 46 young people identified as being vulnerable to sexual exploitation, that police were making inquiries, but the young people themselves are telling us they were not spoken to.
Well, I have no knowledge of that.
You have no. Well,
you should do.
If you
sack him,
those
vote him out, put him in
I'll
prison.
But Police Scotland is undertaking that work just now.
Is this not the reason why we need a rapid audit in Scotland, like happened in England and Wales?
Well, I've just said that's exactly what's happening.
You're doing a rapid audit?
That is exactly what Police Scotland are doing.
The UK government trusted Baroness Casey to be the independent oversight into their rapid audit. Who is overseeing the rapid audit in Scotland?
The work has been done to give us a foundational evidential base from Police Scotland, and that will obviously be reflected on by the national group that looks at childhood sexual exploitation.
She's got no faith in these administrators whatsoever.
Is there any wonder that people are looking at them and you're not getting straight answers out of anything?
But at the same time, they say, just slow down, I'm answering your question. No, the reason he keeps repeating it is because you're not answering it. You're just going off on an absolute diversion. Just more whataboutery.
Okay, well, here's a Martin Daubney on the grooming gangs, and he is having a go at this Labour MP. Check this out.
Fake news to tell the truth. It's not fake news to challenge power. It's not fake news to do your job. It's my job to challenge parliamentarians. That's what I did. He said it was fake news. Go and have a look how the Labour Party voted on that grooming gang inquiry, and we'll see who's telling the fake news.
Martin, there's a fundamental principle driving what we have done, which is that we have looked in the eyes of billionaires running tech platforms and we've said enough is enough. We're putting all our power behind British families, parents and young people in this country, as we did with Grok, where we stood down the richest man in the world, protected women and girls in this country. We're protecting kids in Britain.
Silly memes. That's the most important principle.
Is this really about child protection, or is it really about something else? Control, censorship?
Well, look, one of the things we're trying to crack down on for young people is fake news. And so I dispute the fake news that we're not being tough on grooming gangs. We've got robust inquiries.
It's not fake news. You voted against
every single question. Leave no stone unturned.
Your party voted against the rape gang inquiry until you were kicked, dragging into it. And by the way, may I add, a lot of the pressure that was placed upon you was from Elon Musk on X.
Well, there it is. And, you know, there's another commentary from a guy, and I'm like, wow, you know, what is it about this country? Why won't they answer questions?
he kept saying, "What's fake news?" And he's like, "What are you saying?" And he's like, "But what did I say?" And he's like, "What you said." And it's just like, oh God. Again, these people have just caused so many problems for this country, and you're trying to reason with them. Don't bother. It's like the Dan Wootton last night. They got that lefty. They got one of those lefties on his stream, and in the end they just went, "Oh, get lost," and just cut it. You know what I mean? He was like, "What's the point of me even being in?" And they just went, "Bye then." And I know he tries to get lefties on so he can pretend he's impartial, but he's not. Just say you're not impartial. Because look, all the rest of the media aren't impartial in the slightest.
No.
They've attacked Restore this week. They're utter scum. That's not impartial, is it? If they were, they'd just give the information to the public and let them make their minds up. But they don't, do they? They're white supremacists, ethnic cleansers.
Indeed.
This young kid's a Nazi. This young kid's a white supremacist. Just destroying people's lives, fired from their jobs. Mates will just shun them then. They've done nothing wrong. Some of them pull it, some of them don't. These people are despicable. Get them all out, get them gone. It's time now to absolutely drain the swamp.
Well, here's the last one on this segment before we move on to the election, and here it is.
It's acceptable in our society since the 1950s to sell out white British females and girls in order not to ruffle feathers and appear un-PC, shall we say. The Rupert Lowe Grooming Gang Inquiry Report has been published, all 219 pages of it, of disgusting reading. As early as the 1950s, there have been 250,000 victims that we know of that have been raped, trafficked, radicalised and tortured, predominantly by Muslim men of Pakistani origin. Now, why has it taken until 2026 with 149 different authorities from top to bottom of the country, not just one or two, and Rupert Lowe pushing so hard in order for this to have been brought to the attention of the general public and our society? It's absolutely shocking and disgusting.
Well, I couldn't agree more. And after Rupert brought out his report, how many pages? 219? I mean...
Yeah, the tasty... Well, I say the tasty. The not so good bits are up about the first 44 pages. A lot of statements from the survivors. It's grim reading. And it just makes you wonder how people just allowed that to go on. Because the people who allowed it to go on knew all this stuff. You know, years later we find it all out, but at the time they all knew what was going on. How could you sleep at night, John, knowing that someone was coming and taking a kid and I don't know from a care home or whatever, and then taking them all weekend, pimping them out around the country, bringing them back on Monday. You work in that care home, you're not saying anything. No, you're not doing anything. You're not trying to save the kid. Every person who facilitated this, at least in prison, probably bring back the death penalty for some of the top ones who allowed it to happen.
It's bad
because
news.
If we don't stop this, it's still going on now, and if we don't do something drastic as a deterrent, at least it's going to carry on, isn't it? And
Indeed.
then we need to sort the demographic issue out as well, so it doesn't continue into the future.
Okay, well, let's move on to our next segment. Time is up on that one, and we're going to be talking about Makerfield. Well, Mr. Burnham has won. Is he on his way to number 10?
That's not a done deal either, is it? So he needs to get the 81 or 80, whatever it is, MPs.
He'll get those. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, he might get them, but Starmer might get them, Wes Streeton might get them, and the others might get them.
Well, here's Farage's.
There's no guarantee. Sorry, before you do, there's no guarantee he's going to beat Starmer or win an election. Then there's no guarantee that he's going to be any better than him.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee he's going to save the Labour Party. The guy's a repeated failure.
Yeah.
Trying to win leadership elections. I mean, what can you name anything off the top of your head he's achieved when he was?
No.
He was an MP once, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Anything he achieved there, or as mayor of Manchester?
No.
No. Well, there you go then. What did someone say last night, John? It's like shitting your pants and changing your hat. Sorry, whoever sent that in, because I've nicked that. I've said that about 4 times.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
No one really cares anyway. Do you know what? I've been in work all day, and it was only right at the end anyone even mentioned it. No one's even mentioned it, apart from me.
Yeah. Well,
no
I don't know where to start with, at the election, but Farage had a comment to make about it, and here's Farage's comment on the Makerfield election. Well, let's have a look.
As for the reform vote share, I thought we'd get 18,000 votes. We got just shy of 16, so I'm disappointed by that, no question about it. But I would say this. There's a couple of thousand voters there who would normally have gone out and voted Reform, that voted Restore. And I would say directly to them, what do you want? We are the challenger party to the left in this country, and I would urge you to think again. I really, really would. In Scotland, we were pleased to come second in Arbroath, but the Conservatives had a win in Aberdeen South. Well, good for them. There's an irony, though, that it was Jeremy Hunt's budget that destroyed investment in the North Sea. They've won, and I think what we'll see now is the Conservatives will have their pockets of strength around the country. But in the north of England, the Midlands, South Wales, many other areas, the Conservative vote now averages in by-election after by-election around about 2%. So Reform still is the big national party on the centre-right. A disappointing morning, but we keep going.
Are you surprised by the margin of Andy Burnham's victory?
Well, obviously, we'd have liked to have won, and we must extend our congratulations to Mr. Burnham on holding a very, very safe Labour seat that's been Labour for 100 years. So, in a sense, they were always expected to win. We were always the underdogs. But what we discovered, and this was fascinating, people who voted Reform at the locals deliberately said to us, even though I'm a Reform voter, I'm going to vote Burnham to guarantee to get Starmer out. Our slogan at the locals was vote Reform, get Starmer out. That's what voters did. And then with the specific chance in Makerfield, voters voted tactically, and that's why the margin of victory was so significant, in order to send that very clear message to the Labour Party, get this most unpopular, dreadful Prime Minister out of our lives.
So Reform UK were the victims of a protest vote?
Yeah, it was tactical voting to ensure that objective. And look, we fought a great campaign, incredibly proud of how hard everybody worked.
Now, there is some credibility to what he's saying, because some other reporters have been out and they said they found that it was very similar explanations to what has been said by Reform. Now, it can't be that way with all of them, okay?
All 10,000, yeah.
Yeah, 10, did Restore... Yeah. Well, they got 16,000 votes. That's not bad. Did Restore get their deposit? Did they have to refund?
No, they got 6.9.
So they were okay.
See, yeah, the
7%. I said the other night, I said that would be a good showing. That would be a good showing. I would be happy with that.
It's a foot in the door, isn't it? It's better than the 2% and all that these bunch of charlatans were saying. Yeah. Look, yesterday's excuse was, Restore splitting the vote. As I keep trying to explain to these people, you splitters, you called us that lot, Nazis, fascists. You've attacked us all the last couple of weeks in the press.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want to vote for you anymore. Well, a lot of us, right? That lot don't want to vote for you anymore. So why are you still pining after our vote? So yesterday it was Restore, we're going to split the vote if they lose, yeah? You got the excuse in early. But then when it's transpired that it wouldn't have mattered how many people voted for either of the parties, Burnham was going to win with over 50%.
That's right.
Now there's another excuse. Oh, all our voters went and voted for Labour. Richard.
But that is feasible. That's feasible.
Well, all 8,000 or 9,000 of them, really? No. What I was hearing, and there's people, and there's interviews, and I've watched a lot of the stuff going on the ground up there. A lot of people were saying, well, we would vote for Restore. And I said this early on, didn't I? But I think I'm going to vote Reform now so we can try and stop Labour and Burnham and Starmer. Whatever silly excuse it was, vote reform, stop Starmer. Then it was vote reform, let Starmer in. Then basically, but nice excuses anyway, Tice. But yeah, whatever. Because their vote share didn't really change. So which of these voters then all of a sudden changed then, Richard? Because you're getting roughly average what you are nationally. So I'm slightly confused. Where were these voters? No, maybe the extra vote in the vote share, it was only a small, but maybe they were the 3,000 that came out and voted for Restore because they didn't want to vote for reform. So you might find next time that a lot of your reform voters might vote for Restore because there's not so much on the line, is there?
Yeah.
Well, people thought there was something on the line, John, but again, shit your pants, change your hat. He's not going to make a damn bit of difference, is he? And I watched his speech, mate, and he's as dull as dishwater. He's literally Keir Starmer 2.0.
Well, let's.
It's not a step. Barry Makerfield's not a stepping stone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. You had it. What I would say is that with 16,000 wasn't bad, but also in support of what you're saying, that in the local elections, they stormed it. So technically, I would have thought that they would have taken Makerfield. But if they figured that this is the best way to get rid of Starmer, then that also is feasible.
So, it wouldn't have been there, would it?
Unless we can actually get everybody on a buzzer and say, was that true in Makerfield, who was eligible to vote, and say, is that true? Is it true or is it false? And be able to do that like you can do with a studio audience. Never going to know, are you? No. So
you're never going to go. Look, I think the problem with Restore I'm going to have to be honest now. I think they needed a better quality candidate.
Okay.
I think there was an interview early on which...
she wasn't out anywhere, was she?
Look, it's a little bit of... Look, the media didn't want to touch them, so it was a little bit harder for them to get exposure. But then when she probably did have the chance, I think there was an interview early on where they asked her what, the reason she joined and stood for Restore. She said a policy I saw on Facebook, and she was asked what policy, and she didn't know. That was not a very good thing to say.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit rushed. I know they probably had to stand, make a point, get a foot in the door, get a bit of exposure for the party.
Yeah.
Get Rupert on the telly at the count. So I don't know, and I know there was a lot of canvassers, but maybe some of them are inexperienced. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's best to have people from the local area canvassing who know the local issues, who know the candidates, and can actually explain it. Because if you were to go there, it was quite hard to actually find their leaflet. You'd have to search on social media, but you probably got one if you went up there. But, is everyone going up there from across the country really know the issues in Makerfield?
Mm-hmm.
It's a tricky one, really. But as I say, they got what the polling, so the polls was probably spot on with their vote. But they got the other bit wrong. Reform weren't as strong. But, yeah, maybe some of them did vote to get rid of Starmer. But, again, why would you get rid of Starmer? Why, when your enemy's dropping a massive bollock, do you want to then intervene? Leave him to it.
No, because this guy is evil. He is absolutely savaging this country. I know we make fun of him, but he's savaging the country. And, no, get rid of him.
It doesn't make sense. Okay, so the guys are awful. So you're telling me you want to replace your opposition who are awful with someone better in their eyes?
No, because Andy Burnham is not better. Listen to this commentary.
No, stop before you do. So if Andy Burnham's not better, why do you want him to replace Starmer then?
Because Starmer is evil. He is taking this country down a dystopian path.
Exactly, yeah. So wouldn't you want your enemy to be the worst possible?
No,
all right,
totally disagree with you.
So all right, you're gonna have a fight. You're gonna have a fight with a cage fighter or someone who's never had a fight before. You're gonna pick the easiest one, aren't you? That's the easiest battle to win. Is the one who's the crappiest.
No.
So why? No, people are scared that Burnham's going to be better. So
no, he's not going to be better. We know it. We know it. So they're out.
And why would you?
Okay, here's my argument. Here's my argument. He's going to get in. And the likelihood is that they know that if they leave it till 2029, they're dead in the water.
Yeah.
So they are going to force a premature general erection.
Yeah, that's Labour's idea of it.
You missed the joke there. I said a premature election. Okay, so that's what's going to happen, and this will move things on, which is great, because they don't want Restore anywhere near. Now, if Restore have got their act together, they are actually going to be prepping for that right now, because that's what's going to happen. We're going to have a general. Yeah. There's going to be something come up very, very soon, because they know they can't win.
John, I wouldn't let this worry you if you Restore, because think about it. They weren't really going to challenge this election.
No.
But obviously, I'm not even sure Rupert wanted to, but the people locally wanted to, so you can't really refuse. So, and someone stepped forward and said, "I'll have a go."
That's right.
Very inexperienced.
The vote belongs to the people. It doesn't belong to anybody else, and it's democracy, and that is it. And Rupert Lowe said as much at the count. He said exactly that.
And now she's got some experience, and so the local team, and 7% not too bad to build on. Yeah, I would have loved it if it was a bit more.
Well,
you know what I mean? I've stood in elections myself and got like 15, 16, and it's like you'd always want a bit more. I would have liked a bit more from them, but look, that's from coming from nowhere after a few months.
That's not bad. That's not too bad.
You've got over 3,000 people there who either weren't going to vote in the first place, or have changed their minds from Reform, Restore, the Cons, Labour.
Yeah,
they've shifted. That's thousands of people. That's
let's hear from Lowe. Right, let's hear what he has to say.
The exposure was the main part of it, John. Getting the name out there. Now he's been on the news. Now people know who they are.
Yeah, here he is.
But I don't think it makes any practical difference whether we have Andy Burnham in number 10, whether we have Keir Starmer remaining, whether we have Wes Streeting, whether we have Al Carnes, whoever else decides to stand. Labour have done untold damage to this country in 2 years. They're complete charlatans.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The front bench has no idea what it's doing. They have no idea of the consequences of the legislation they're passing, of the taxes that they're effectively levying on an increasingly small, productive Britain, which is being taxed into oblivion to fund an increasingly inefficient state, which now accounts for far too much of GDP. So I don't think it makes any difference. Labour won a landslip election victory on a very low turnout, on a very low share of the vote.
Exactly.
Right? So they've got a big overall majority, and a lot of those Labour MPs will be one-term MPs, because Labour is not going to get re-elected again. It doesn't matter whether Starmer's running the party.
That's what I'm saying.
Whether the Ghostbuster Burnham's running the party, whether Streeting's running the party. They're all Fabian sort of fools, as I call them.
Fabian fools, yeah. A whole lot of them, yeah.
There you go. So that's common sense. So that's actually backing up some of what I've said, but it's also supporting the things that you've just said. So, let's see. And I know what you're going to say.
You don't get anyone like, he's the only person singing from our hymn sheet and telling the truth. And
that's it.
They are Fabian fools. They have shafted this country.
Yep.
From the 90s until now.
That's absolutely true.
People are still voting for them for whatever reason. Splitting votes. Oh, we don't want him a leader. We don't want him. Right, look at the parties. Look at the one you think's going to fix this country the most. And make your decision and vote for it. Like Rupert said, no one owns votes. No one's splitting anything.
Yeah.
You vote for who you want. And now there's a party that people, for the first time in my life, are saying, I actually want to vote for this party. All right, there's a bit of that with UKIP as well because of the whole Brexit thing. But they were just a one-trick pony, as we saw. As soon as that was taken out of their hands, that was it. They tried to take some of the other issues on and Farage destroyed it, but that's a different story.
Well, it's taken 10 years for the EU to turn around.
I know, but the likes of you and everyone who campaigned for this did that.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't be happening now, would it?
No, true enough. True enough.
Hadn't been in there. Give Farage credit for that one. I will criticise him for other stuff, but give him credit. He was the main man who instigated that and the main vocal point for it, and he's done a good job. Okay, we'll discuss what happened afterwards with handing it to the Conservatives, but that's another debate. But without that happening, that decision, that vote, that wouldn't even be a thing, mate. And we'd still be I'll believe it when I say it, but we'd still be getting them shipped in by the thousands, and they all end up here, don't they, eventually? A lot of them. So
Okay, well, you spoke about Burnham's election speech when he won, and we've got that. And have a listen to it to support what you're saying. And this is the last one, and then we're going to move on to the end vid and get off here. And then we'll be questioning, why did that happen?
Can I do one more before you do? Because I've just thought of something here now. Guess what they're going to now? It's going to be now. Well, you right wingers should be back in the EU. You want to go back in the EU then, shouldn't you? Because they're going to detain and deport them all, but you can't because you're not in the EU.
That's possible.
Oh, we're going to get hammered with that brush, aren't we? And then it's like, no, well, we tell you what, if the EU can do it, we can do it too. But it's our politicians choosing not to, so we replace them. I'll believe all this crap when I see it anyway.
I see the possibility of what you're saying. Here's his speech.
Like them before.
Here's his speech. Here we go.
And I do hereby declare that Andy Burnham is duly elected. Thank you.
Everyone knows that politics isn't working. Everyone can feel that
this
the
is not our sound.
Isn't
it's
where
theirs.
it should be. Tonight could be the turning point. From here on, I will give everything I have got to make it so, bringing back something we've lost: hope. Hope for the future. I am proud that this place has shone in the world's spotlight these last 5 weeks. It will never be a stepping stone to me, but instead will be my touchstone.
Bollocks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know that. I mean, the first thing he's going to be thinking about, he's already got a plan in place, ready. And he'll be talking with all the rest of them. So
he's just all his dishwater. It's the same. He's saying the same bollocks as Star. He'll use slightly different words. He's not gonna change Rachel Reeves. He's not gonna change David Lammy, Veku. They're all still gonna be there doing the same daft Fabian crap. What's he gonna change?
Well, let's see.
He's worse than Starmer. At least Starmer came out that time and said there'll be an island of strangers. You won't get any of that out of him.
Okay, well, at least he's got one saving grace. He's from the north. That's it.
What does that mean?
He's from the north.
So
he's not king of the north.
So Harold Shipman, but was he? He was, wasn't he?
Okay, well, hey, we don't know what happened earlier on. We do not know why our transmission was terminated, but we're back on. And what I will do is I'll find out what it was and I'll piece them both together again so that you can watch them all one after another. Or I might just leave it at part 1 and part 2. I'll rename them. I don't know.
I was going to say, just change the names of the Make Her Feel bit, and then there you got 2 videos to watch then.
2 videos.
For the price of 1. Not that you're paying for it, but whatever. Well, unless you subscribe to YouTube, then you do pay in a way, I suppose. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'm whittering on. That's it. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yes, indeed. Have a great weekend. And here is our end vid, and this one is The Migrant Factory.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure migration. Row that dinghy across the sea. I've prepared a celebration. If you want to view paradise, simply paddle up and come on through it. British passports, I'll hand you a few. There's nothing to it. There is no scheme I know to compare with this migration. Welcome to my factory, the greatest nation of jubilation. Welcome here, your British passports freshly printed just for you, my dears. The free hotel is that way, my friends. Follow the cash, it's all been cleared. Kids and grown-ups in orange vests climb ashore with joy and cheer. Grab these stacks of lovely pounds, my factory's open all year. Oompa Loompas, they've been replaced, you see, by a brighter, bolder factory. Chocolate rivers still flow brown, but the golden tickets now are passports down. There is no life I know to compare with this migration. Living here, you'll be free in my migrant factory nation. Come along, come along, come along, come along. The boat's always arriving and the welcome never ends.
If you enjoy these videos and songs, please give us a like, subscribe,
Yes.
share, and if possible, a hype. That way more people
No, it's the
get to
British
see this
Patriots.
awesome
We're
content.
great.